And it's good afternoon to the Gelding. We're on in an afternoon again. I thought we were going back to Saturday.
Good morning, Professor. Good morning, good afternoon, listeners. Yeah, Professor, tell me what happened. All of a sudden, I get this text. Gelding, are you available? 3 p.m.
Well, more people watch us when we're recorded, Gelding, than live.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they think our humour's better with a little bit of vintage to it.
But they reckon we're not morning people.
I don't know what it is, Gelding, but we'll feed the algorithm. And listen, while we've got the viewers' attention, there's a little thumbs up sign down there for likes. We'd like you to hit the likes, and we'd also like you to subscribe because that way you get told whenever there's a That's Racing on or Daligan Talks NRL or a Sportsfan radio show, you find out when all these programs are going to air.
Beautiful, Professor. Yes, encourage everyone to hit those buttons.
Now, Gelding, question without notice. We're going to go to Sydney for our racing tomorrow, but there's a race meeting at Caulfield, and I call it the very ordinary race meeting because the fields aren't all that great. The main race is the Easter Cup. It's not Easter for 2 weeks, Gelding. How can you have the Easter Cup 2 weeks before Easter?
Oh, it's the Melbourne Racing Club. They'll just do whatever they want, Professor. They won't worry. Let's have an Easter Cup. Why don't we have a Christmas stakes, in October or something like that, Professor? Or, let's change everything around. And because really, and I hope you accept it, Professor, race committees know everything better than people that actually go to the races.
Well, yes.
Because they know what we want.
Yes, that's right. And they know better than members too.
Yeah. So why would you want the Easter Cup at your main race meeting, at your main racing centre during Easter? And, well, what's happening on Easter? Where are the races on Easter, Professor?
Well, there's a race meeting at Mornington, isn't there?
Well, isn't that the Melbourne Racing Club?
Now, Gelding, perhaps you'd
so
like
why don't they move the Easter Cup down to Mornington and run it on Easter? At least you're running it in the right time slot.
Gelding, perhaps you'd like to give the viewers a little bit of an historical perspective on what used to happen on Easter Saturday and Easter Monday.
Well, when the very, very amateur turf club, the VA2C, ran Caulfield, which is the forebearer to the Melbourne Racing Club, on Easter, whenever Easter was, whenever it was held, Caulfield got 2 meetings, one on the Saturday and one on Easter Monday, right? And they ran the Easter Sprint on the Saturday and the Easter Cup on the Monday.
Well, that seems logical, Gelding.
Now, and it was a flexible thing because they had the meeting at Easter when people go away on holidays, so you have your race meeting in Melbourne so people can actually do something, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. But anyway, let's think maybe we've got to go to holidays or something down to Mornington on Easter Saturday to see some races, Professor.
Well, Gelding, I was thinking about it all, and it's just beyond me. Perhaps they've taken a leaf out of Woolworths' book. You know how Woolworths releases the hot cross buns on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what maybe they're just celebrating Easter early.
Is it possible some of the Easter eggs have gone off? They were in the Woolworths that early. But can't they have a 50% sale off them now?
Well, the thing is, you
sell. Gouge us? Well, put the price up now. And
no, Gelding, there was an inquiry. They don't do that.
Oh, they don't do that.
No, there was an inquiry.
Okay.
You believe them, don't you?
Oh yeah, they're not in cahoots. I definitely believe that. Yeah. It's like what must be the cone of silence. Woolworths in one, Coles in another. Your turn. Let's raise everything. Anyway, another subject, Professor.
Well, for another day, Gelding. We're going to Randwick tomorrow.
Apparently, they know best.
Well, yes.
Yes. Racing committees and Woolworths. They know best.
All right, Gelding, we're going to Randwick tomorrow. It's a 10-race card. The first is at 12:25. The last is a very late 5:55 p.m. We're going to struggle to get home for watch the ABC News at 7 o'clock, I would have thought. The feature race is race 8, the Doncaster 1,600-metre race. It's a Group 1 for 3-year-olds and above, worth $4 million if you don't mind, Gelding. And it's Group Racing Day tomorrow. There's 4 Group 1s, a Group 2, 4 Group 3s, and an open race worth a cool $1 million, Gelding. So there's something for everybody there.
Fantastic day's racing, Professor. Day 1 of the championships up there. They'll run their 3 meetings up to Easter. Little run into their big yearling sales, the English yearling sales up there over Easter. So, as I've said many times, Professor, I think Racing New South Wales has got it all over the way Victorian racing is being run at the moment. But anyway, only an opinion. But, Professor, I've gone in Group 1 races, but not the Doncaster. My first bet's going to be in race 7, the TJ Smith Stakes. And this time of year, Chris Waller just absolutely shines, Professor. And he's got the good horses. And look, I watched Jolie Star win the Newmarket by about a length and a half quite easily 2 weeks ago, Professor. So, look, I'm happy to follow that it may be the best sprinter in Australia at the moment. So, my first bet is in the TJ Smith, race 7, and is number 7, Jolie Star, trained by, as I said, Chris Waller, and to be ridden by Damien Lane. So, again, a very, very hard race. You know, you've got Overpass, Timmy Star, Headwall, Brasilia, Sunshine in Paris, Magic Time, Switzerland, Traffic Warden. So there's plenty of opposition, Professor. But you can get Jolie Star now round about the $4 mark, Professor. So I would be quite happy with that. My next bet is race 9. I'm going the AJC Derby, Professor. And again, going with Chris Waller and going against the golden rule of racing, Professor. I'm going for a filly to win the Derby against the Colts and Geldings. I'm going number 18, Liliana, again trained by Waller, ridden by Damien Lane, round about 360. Anyone that missed this run of this horse 2 weeks ago, I think go back. It almost ran, thank Christ we were on broadsiding, Professor, and broadsiding got up. But every time this horse was flying at it in the Randwick Guineas, and it missed by a pimple, Professor, it was absolutely gunning home. So I think over the extra 400 metres, dropping to 54.5 kilos, Professor, against the Colts carrying 56.5. Very happy with the 360 on offer at the moment. So my second bet is race 9, number 18, Liliana. Dangers, of course, are Willie Do It, the New Zealand Derby winner, coming across, and also the Victorian Derby winner, Gold Rush Guru. But again, happy to be with Chris Waller during the autumn carnival. So my 2 tips, race 7, number 7, and race 9, number 18. So you like, Professor?
Yeah, Gelding, just before I go to mine, Damien Lane's in career form at the moment, 20% win rate over his last 50, which is incredible.
Riding well.
You've certainly picked a terrific jockey there. For the punters, the track's a soft 6 at the moment. I would think that's going to be upgraded, Gelding, because they won't have any more rain, and it's forecast for fine weather tomorrow, so that's good. And the rail, unbelievably, for a major meeting, is in the true position.
Beautiful, Professor. Yes, look, they got a lot of rain last week, so good to see that it's probably just picked the track up beautifully. So, as I said, Professor, I'm I'm working on a good 4 to soft 5 range tomorrow.
Yep.
Which will give most horses every chance.
All right, Gelding, I'm going early. Race 1, the Widden Kindergarten Stakes. It's a Group 3 race for 2-year-olds over 1,100 metres. I like in this one the Toppy Gelding, North England, coming out of barrier 5. Only had the 4 starts for 1 win and a placing, so 25% win rate, 50% place rate. It's a Farnan colt. It's back in class tomorrow. Last race, it was 6th in the Golden Slipper Gelding, so that's not too bad a form in a Group 1.
Yeah.
What I like about this horse Gelding is it's won over the distance at this class in the Golden Gift at Rose Hill in November. It's the best rated horse in the field. Tim Clark's aboard. He's got a 16% career win rate. That'll do me. And it might be Chris Waller's time at this time of the year, but it's Gay Waterhouse's time every time of the year, according to the Sydney Colt.
Yes. Well, a fair point to Gay Waterhouse and Botter. They're having a fantastic time, but well, what can you say about Gay Waterhouse apart from she's a legend and is an excellent horse trainer, and this is her time to, she has said regularly, this is her time to shine. It's the headlines acts of New South Wales racing, so this is when she likes to be on fire.
Yeah, and she's in career form. It's the right time to be in career form, Gelding. 20% over her last 50, so they can't put a foot wrong there. So race 1, horse number 1, North England, and I like Tim Clark and Gay Waterhouse that much that I'm also going to take the horse that they're on or concerned with in race 3, the Chairman's Quality, a Group 2 for 3-year-olds and above over 2,600 metres, a little bit more than the 2,400. We've got 2,600 tomorrow. And I like in this one, horse number 3, Alalcance, coming out of barrier 4, 9 starts for a very impressive 4 wins and 4 placings, Gelding. So only been out of the money once, 44% win rate, 89% place rate. It's won its last 2 starts after a spell. Won by 4.5 lengths in the Group 3 Manion Cup at Rose Hill 2 weeks ago. As I said, only been out of the money once in 9 starts, so has the consistency. It's the top-rated horse in the field. It's got Tim Clark aboard, and as I said, Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott are the trainers. You can get $2.70 and $1.45 at the moment, Gelding, so I'd leap on that, I think. It might start a little bit shorter tomorrow.
Yeah, Professor, I like it. A horse that's won its 2 are listed in a Group 3 race in its last 2 starts from a spell. It's got to be very, very good. And out of its last 5, we've got 3 wins and 2 seconds, Professor. So, and those seconds, I think, were by half a length and 0.1 of a length, Professor. So fantastic. You don't like the King's horse? King Charles's horse, the top weight?
No,
trained by William Hackers?
I had a little bit of a look at that, Gelding, but I did like Alalcance better.
Okay, well, good. I'm happy you've gone that way, Professor. I like it. The Queen of the Australian Turf, Gay Waterhouse. Your 2 picks, and also both Timmy Clark.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there, Gelding. So my 2 for tomorrow, race 1, horse 1, North England, and race 3, horse 3, Alalcance. Let's turn to the Professor's Parlay, Gelding. Unfortunately, Pride of Jenny, second last. It didn't look a good run, did it?
No, look, Professor, I think, as I said, always happy to back the astute judgment of Kieran Maher. And I'm sure, even though he got the winner in Light Infantry Man, all the vibes he was giving out was that he thought Pride of Jenny was his best pick in the race. But she just, I don't know, she seemed to just lack the normal way of racing. And, whether Craig knew it, kept the other horses in the race by not opening up a bit of a gap on them. But she was gone on the turn, Professor, so not good. So we'll wait and see on her. But I think maybe not be the horse that she was.
Well, my notes from watching the race, Gelding, next to the horse's name is Fated Badly.
Yeah. Was gone on the turn, Professor.
Which is unlike her because normally that's where she's running on.
Well, that's when she's breaking the hearts of the others. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Well, the winning horse, though, in that race, Gelding, was one to watch.
Oh, definitely. Coming up again, Kieran Maher trained horse and just peaked on the day and won well.
So the other legs of the Parlay Gelding last week were successful. The Manly Sea Eagles counted for the Parramatta Eels, and the Adelaide Crows beat the North Melbourne Kangaroos. So the Parlay, 6 from 14, 43%. So still an excellent return.
Oh,
but
marvellous return.
It's a perhaps what could have been. All right, so we turn to this week, and the agreed bet of the day between you and I, Gelding, is race 7, horse 7 at Randwick, Jolly Star, for all the reasons you mentioned before, and we'll parlay that into the Brisbane Lions to beat Richmond, playing at the MCG tomorrow at the comfortable time of 4 p.m, Gelding, which is not a football time as far as I'm concerned.
Any reason why we couldn't start at 2 o'clock, Professor?
Oh, Gelding, don't start me.
All right,
don't
the committee.
It's all to do with TV. It's got nothing to do with committees, Gelding.
It's
what the TV wants. That's where they want it, so that and you can't get it on free to air either.
No, exactly.
So Brisbane Lions are 4th at the moment. They're flying. They've won 3 from 3. They beat Geelong after giving them a head start last week in Brisbane. Richmond, after their first win in the season opener against Carlton, Gelding, have been very disappointing. But what can you take from that form, Gelding? Because at least Richmond have won a game. They're 1-3. Carlton are 0-4.
Well, was very happy when the Tigers got up against Carlton. It was hopefully showing at least this year. Look, everyone knows they're not going to be the side they were, 5 years ago, Professor. They're in a rebuilding stage. But when you see a performance like that against Carlton, where you see effort, you don't mind going and watching it, right? But the last 2 games, Port Adelaide and St Kilda, when St Kilda beat you by 82 points, and it's not knocking St Kilda, right? They're obviously playing some good footy and good on them and stuff like that. But a league side, there shouldn't be that much gap, like the second half. If Richmond had have tried and got beaten by 4 goals, you would say that's where you expect where the teams are different. So how they're going to go against the reigning premiers tomorrow, Professor, if they bring the form of last week, I think he'll be spot on with that margin of 48 points.
Yeah, the line's horrible, Gelding. It's almost 8 goals.
Yeah. Well, that's what the form is, Professor.
Yeah, that is what the form is. And we'll parlay that into the GWS Giants to beat the West Coast Eagles. The Giants playing at home. The West Coast have got to make the trip all the way to Sydney. Giants 2 from 3, smarting after a loss to Hawthorn down in Tasmania last weekend, Gelding, but they really looked like good things, I think, and Hawthorn will probably finish on top of the ladder the way they're playing at the moment. The West Coast Eagles, 0 from 3, Gelding. They're on the bottom of the ladder. They've got the worst percentage in the league of 57%. The bookies don't like them either, Gelding. 64.5 points, if you don't mind, nearly 11 goals.
Wow. And a lot of talk about them this week, of course, with their captain maybe jumping ship.
Yes, well, that's what happens, isn't it? And maybe their number 1 draft pick also not wanting to sign again either. Who can blame it? Like, you want to think that there's hope, Gelding. After all, that's what the supporters want. They want hope, don't they?
Well, yes, as we've said many, many times, clubs have got to be good and they've got to sell some hope, otherwise they lose their supporters.
Exactly, Gelding. All right, so the Professor's parlay tomorrow. Race 7, horse 7 at Randwick, Jolly Star, into the Brisbane Lions to beat Richmond, into the Greater Western Sydney Giants to beat the West Coast Eagles. So, Gelding, a very, very interesting and entertaining show. What can I say except until next Saturday, good luck.
And good punting.